Hey guys, it's May, and this video is about the MEPATH. And as you may have noticed, like in the last, I don't know, like a few years, you hear about this empath. People saying, I'm an empath. I'm not sure that even that half of them understand truly what that means. And if you're likely, if you're going around telling everyone you're an empath, you're probably not. So in this state in which we live, which is only a state of mind, and it is not a real place, okay? And although this little video that I'm discussing with you is spiritual based, as it always is, I will incorporate spirituality into this, but this is important. And I think that this will resonate with a lot of you. I know I have 7 seconds to impress you. It's probably already been 27 seconds. And whoever is hanging on, trust me, this is a good one. And I will keep it short, but this is vital information. In this matrix, in this state of mind, in this sophisticated dream state in which we reside, those of you who would search out alternative thought and alternative media, such as myself and other truth researchers and decoders of this reality, which is essentially what we are. We're just decoding this reality to help make any sense of it, right? So, and I often tell you it's an inverted world. I often will tell you that it's what's up is down, and if they say it's far away, it's close, and so anyway, here's the thing. This video, another MEPATH video, is about going your own way. Let's say you get invited to a barbecue. Now in Louisiana, it would be a crawfish boil. Let's just say any event, okay? Any hypothetical event, we're just making an event. With coworkers, with family, with friends, who are likely NPCs, as most people are. And I want to remind you in this video that those of you who listen to my channel and other channels of this nature, we are definitely on a different stream. We are streaming on a different frequency. We are, in our heart, in our heads, in our soul, we operate and function and think differently. So it's a very shallow existence in this state. And what's happened more and more is that you sit with a group of people that you probably have nothing in common with, and you will notice very topics that are very maybe based on current events, based in a very, very superficial topics and themes, and often repetitive, or have little value, little just meaning, no meaning, right? What I want to say to you in this video is when you are invited to these events, cocktail parties, barbecues, I'm not telling you to not go. I don't think it's good to become too reclusive or to be a hermit in any way. It's hard because people are so tied to their digital gadgets. However, I'm not telling you that. Well, what I am going to say is sometimes an alternative to attending the barbecue or the cocktail party or the event that you just don't feel like doing it is okay to not go. And this is what I'm getting at, is do you notice how in these scenarios, when you are with family, when you are with friends or colleagues, even in the work environment, you are playing a role. You are playing a role that has absolutely nothing to do with the true essence of that which you are. It has absolutely nothing to do with, and you know this, and your higher self knows this. And it's dangerous to a certain extent to constantly associate or bring out that character role that is not the true you too much, because then you become fragmented, because in each different scenario you're playing a different role, but that is not who the true essence that you are. And I have found myself in this situation lately. I have been confronted with this lately, and I find myself in situations with those that I have very little or next to nothing in common with, especially spiritually. And the problem is the depth of spirituality in which we crave, you and me, and those of us who actively listen to channels like this or read the types of literature that we read. We're natural explorers, right? They are not on this level. They are not on this frequency. And I'm going to warn you that we've got to be careful, as it's not good. It is stifling to our activation. It hinders the activation of the true self, the higher self, which we want engagement with. Now, the polar opposite of that is, as I just said, is to not go anywhere and just to avoid the functions or the events. And I'm not saying that. But when you have that tugging at you, and I've had it recently, I just didn't feel like upholding the charade. I didn't feel like playing the role. Whether it's the role of the friend, the role of the sister, the role of the colleague. Do you know what I mean? Whoever that role is, the friendly neighbor, engaging with neighbors, come over for tea or coffee, a glass of wine. But you and I both know fully very well what that means, and you run it over in your head like a record player while you're preparing to attend this event, and you're thinking, oh, maybe I should say this to Susan or to Carol or to Taylor or whatever their name is. I'm just making this up. Maybe I should ask how this is going and that, and you start preparing for your role, right? Because we are characters in a script. I mean, the earth is a theater. We are characters in a script. The problem is that has nothing to do with who we truly are. And this material plane, this plane of existence, has become, and especially since this turn of the century, in recent years, since the 2000s especially, is with the chronology and technology, has become a place where there is no major emotional connections happening. They rarely or hardly exist in everyday, like when you, I'm not even saying on the smaller scale, sure, when you run into people that we can't really, and then small talk that you really do not feel like engaging in, right? We've all been in those situations. But then even, I'm talking about taking it to another level. I'm talking about it's now become, even with neighbors, close friends, and family, where there's a little voice inside of us that this doesn't feel natural, it doesn't feel right, because we have become the screen. We are an inverted version of the Black Mirror-based screens in which we engage regularly. I mean, I'm talking about, when I say we, what I really mean is the NPCs, the backdrop, the Automons. But these are, by and large, this is everyone, except for that few minority, and there's not that many of us, who do not fit into this reality. We do not fit here. This is not our kingdom. And it takes a lot of energy, like I just did a video on, energy and effort. And this is not in any way, shape, or form to be negative. Please don't confuse it. But I'm just saying that I am with you. Like I always say, I am on your side. And I know how difficult it is. it feels like a heavy burden to bear that we must uphold this charade and pretend. Why? And fear of judgment, like to be concerned with what will they think of me if I, what would they really think of you if they knew how you who you really were, that you don't buy into this place, that you know that you're much bigger and brighter than this existence. And a lot of people, I'm not going to sugarcoat this, but a lot of the Ottomans, they are heavily downloaded, are really into the who man existence. And I cannot fathom or understand it, and I never will. How do they not see? How do they not see beyond what is essentially the spirit, the soul, consciousness, the the light, which is what we are, the flickering. And we do flicker, by the way. If you wonder how our light, how our orb moves, it's in a flicker. And it has nothing to do with this avatar. And we have to take care of our avatars, and we have to present the avatar in a certain way, and we must speak in a certain way, and we must dress in a certain way, and we must conform in social settings. And I'm not saying to decline invitations or become too inward. No, I am sociable extremely, but there are some situations, and that is what the MEPATH is about, where you can go your own way and you can decide not to attend that event that you are just dreading, that is just pushing you and pulling you in each direction. I don't want to go. I don't want to go. I don't want to do this. I don't feel like pretending. I don't feel like having superficial, nonsensical, meaningless, useless conversation that never reaches a high level of actual emotion. And this is a weird thing as we now are larger versions of the screen-based system, this digitized version of ourselves, of this reality, this holographic reality. This is what's interesting, is that it's almost shunned to have emotion, which is absolutely absurd. I think now the generations that are coming up, by and large, are now their emotions are to be stifled. There's no emotion. Do people cry anymore, or do they need to go get on camera and cry so they can get followers and likes? That is so idiotic to me. Who cares? And you know what else? And I'm going to be honest with this channel. If I get 15 or I get 15,000, I don't care. It makes me think of a U2 song that said, "Follow me, don't follow me." Or was that REM? Excuse me, REM. Follow me, don't follow me. I mean, I like it. It encourages, because then you keep it up. Everybody loves recognition. Don't get me wrong. Encouragement and recognition. Hey, I'm not taking that for granted for 1 second. I appreciate and love all of you. I am only saying, here's what I'm getting at, is that to live for this, like, has become such a theme now. It has become the end all and be all, is these numbers, these thumbs, this ridiculous, um, it's so superficial and so shallow and so meaningless. And here's the thing, guys, I had to pause for a second, but here's what happens. When you Okay, let me see how I can put this. Stay with me, guys. The ones that are here, hang on. I'm really good when I get going. Hang on, it's coming. When you keep up appearances to appear in your social settings normal, quote, normal, okay? Rather than What happens is not your soul expansion. You're actually shrinking. You're actually shrinking that soul, which is, as I've told you before, it extends several feet outside of you. Several feet. It's huge. You are a body inside of a spirit or a soul, SOL, that's sun-based consciousness. You are a body inside of that. That is your house in which you reside. It's an energy. Actually, the CIA has it reported as an extra body part. It's a body part. It's your energy, your waveforms that you can't visually see. So when you shrink into your humanness, and you show up for these events, and you are so concerned with appearing normal in fear of judgment, outcast, appearing different, odd, whatever, did you know that this actually, instead of expanding your soul, you shrink it? Now, I'm not saying that you go to your events, you go have tea, you go have coffee, you meet with your friends and colleagues. I'm not saying we all have to do this, and don't ever stay indoors too much and isolate yourself and forget your social skills. I'm not saying that. But I am saying when you don't feel, when your soul just cannot be in that mode or in that mood, and you need to do more soul-based activities, whether that's sitting and writing in analog, pen to paper, drawing, gardening, listening to your favorite music, that soul powerful music, right? The things that you love to do, which is your own time and in your own moments of freedom and escalation and elevation, we expand our consciousness, then we expand our soul, okay? Then we are engaging it. This is a happy, happy, happy spirit, a happy soul-based consciousness. When we are feeding with knowledge, with the true intentions, depth, deepness, emotions, thoughts, feelings, writing, reading, music. You feel elated. You will see it in your dreams. You will see it in your thoughts. You will engage and receive your cosmic messages. You will receive your cosmic messages. The soul requires a type of watering and feeding, if you will, nurturing. That this state of mind, this reality, this plane of existence does not. It creates a barren soul. And do you know what we're at risk of? Guys, if we don't engage in that, do you know what you're at risk of? Detachment from the soul. Like I'm saying, in other words, you won't expand and you will lose that depth the more you don't water and feed it like a plant. I think it was one of the viewers, I think it was Bigfoot, I'm not sure, I'd have to look, but mentioned how we are like a plant, and we are. So anyway, this was just to be a quick short video. This is about the MEPATH, and the MEPATH is not, we're not doing any ridiculous modern day, what do they call them, like on Instagram, how they call everyone narcissists now. I mean, narcissists are calling narcissists, and they're the narcissists. I mean, who cares? We're not doing those silly labels. But we are in a state where everyone is quick to label everyone with labels that I don't even think they understand what they mean on a psychological basis. But it's not, it's a shallow existence. Shove me in that shallow water before I get too deep. So we want deep. You want deep. Trust me, you want deep. Right? Get out of the shallow end. If they go low, you go high. So just keep to your true self is essentially what I'm saying in this. In the me path, it doesn't make you a narcissist. It doesn't make you self-centered. It means that you are activating your higher level of consciousness, which exists, which is it's in existence. It's a being. You just don't see it. It's all around you. It helps you. It stops you from walking out in front of a car. Like it guides you. It's that sixth sense, right? That senses danger or feels something good, right? That this is an energy and it's who you are, and it has absolutely nothing to do with your avatar and your who man role, character role, existence that you are playing out in this script-based experience. You are a light, you are an orb, you are an amazing creature that is invisible essentially and is spiraling around this little avatar in which you're just operating. You know, it's got an operating system, right? And it has all the mechanisms, and it moves and it breathes and it eats and it says I'm hungry, and it says I'm tired and all this. But you have this huge big energy that is when it's extended out, it's encompassing other incarnations, other experiences that you don't realize going on simultaneously. Because I'm going to tell you something right now. Things don't end with death. Death is not an ending. Death is just another layer. And actually, in a lot of ways, it's a beginning. So it's not linear time. It's a wheel-based system. So we need so much to find that spiritual side of ourselves, focus on that outside of this who man digitized holographic system, which is pulling us to be something that doesn't feel natural and feels artificial and synthetic. And what I'm telling you is to go your own way. I am encouraging that, and that's all this video is about. So when you sit with those NPCs and they make discussions on meaningless topics, and you know they're meaningless, they're absolutely meaningless. And actually they're very limited in their depth by nature due to the heavy programming. And I'm not saying to don't condemn them or think I mean, they can't help it, you know, they can't help it. But you don't have to subject yourself to it when you don't want to. You can always say no. You have other outlets, and I'm going to tell you right here as I sign off, you have a zodiac sign, you're orbed into here, you have special patterns and angles that you probably don't even know about. I'm sure of it. You have the ability to read ancient texts and older books. You can go to the library. You can write in journals and memoirs and notebooks. Write. The cow jumped over the moon 10 times. Do you know how good that feels to actually engage in something away from the screen? So read books, paint, draw, do everything that you want to do to feed that extra body part, that energetic self, which is the true you, which is never going to cease to exist. I'm telling you right now. My higher consciousness is telling you right now, it will never end. It doesn't end. There's no such thing as, even if this avatar stops, you keep going. The thoughts don't end, and you will just enter another plane of existence, another dimension after your mind wipe, and I can assure you of that. And I will stop right here. But look for depth. Look for deepness. Look for emotion. That is when our soul is vibrating. We start vibrating at a higher level. Our frequency rises. We feel the levitation, which is not visible. You actually elevate and levitate. Yes, you do. But it can't happen. It can't happen in a superficial, shallow-based experience. I'm telling you to search out the MEPATH and go your own way. And I'm here to support you. And I am always on your side. And I love to see you guys' comments. I really do. I truly, truly do. It helps in this state of reality, this existence, to know that we aren't alone in these thoughts and feelings. And yeah, it's okay to be deep and full of emotions, no matter what's going on around you. Because all of that is just theater to try to pull you down. It's the lower dimensional forces trying to once you there, they go low, you go high. You go high. What's the first thing you say when you see someone high? You go high. Okay, I'll stop there. I have a lot more to say. I have so much to say. More videos to come soon. Thanks, guys. I look to your comments.